Guys, it's a little bit of a struggle to garden in Colorado, especially at high altitude. So my experience with gardening in Colorado is that I moved here in November from Florida. I had lived in North Carolina for a while, but I didn't do any gardening there. So my experience was kind of starting in Florida, zone 9, extreme heat, tropical plants, and then moving here in the winter. So I knew it would be drier climate and it would have a winter and it would be cold and that it was high altitude. I had heard that it was windy here and that they do get hail during certain times of the year, but I didn't really know firsthand what that was like or how bad it was or how often. I underestimated how long winter is here, and where I'm at, we're about 7,500 feet in altitude. So when I first got here, I knew it was November, went through Christmas and all of that and waited. And then I don't remember if I started any seeds in January or buying seeds in January, but I knew that there were certain things that I could plant, like just start my seeds early indoors. I got a little bit of a setup with just like a few small grow lights. I didn't have a large space to grow the seeds indoors, but I did try. And so a few things germinated, some things died, and I tried to keep them I tried to keep them alive as long as possible inside. And then I knew I had to harden them off outside when it got nice. So I thought in spring, oh, it'll warm up and I can do that. So begrudgingly, I waited through January, February. It was still complete snowy winter. It doesn't snow all the time, but it snows frequently. I don't remember during those months how much it snowed, but I would say typically here, probably about once a week it would snow. So then from there, March came and everybody else's spring had started. And so I was really excited. I was like, I need to get some of this stuff started. So the only things that I had done inside so far, I think, were onion seedlings because I knew it would take a long time. And maybe something else, but I don't remember what because I don't think they survived. So then I did one of my videos on my channel. You can see back in March. I think I tried to wait what I thought was so long. I waited till like towards the end of March to plant some seedlings, and then I brought them inside to put them under grow lights. And the first thing I did was put them on the heat mat, and I had never grown seedlings inside before. So I put them on the heat mat, and then I found out that you're not supposed to put them on the heat mat after they germinate. So they were probably on there a little too long, but then I unplugged that and then kept them under the grow lights. And March had, I guess, what they call like first spring here, or fake spring, where it gives you this like false idea that it's going to be nice outside and you're ready to plant at least seedlings. But then it snows again and it gets cold and it never really warms up. It warms up for like a day or two and then it goes back to being cold. So then I kept babying the seedlings inside. I had, at this point, I think we're going into April. And I don't remember if this was in April or May, but I eventually bought a few seed starts from some local people. Just some tomatoes and strawberries, which I did not properly care for the strawberries. They are not doing good. I'm not sure if they're alive, but I really wish they were. And my plan for the herbs and the strawberries was to put them in some green stalks, the vertical planters. But I was going to put them outside. And between April and May, some people were like, oh, well, here it's just not time to plant until Mother's Day. Some people said, don't plant till Memorial Day, but it could snow on the 1st of June. It happens sometimes, but it doesn't look like it'll happen this year. So in my mind, I couldn't believe that I had to wait until summer to plant, and I had already started all of these seedlings. So a lot of the time it would be sort of nice outside and I would take them out to hard and off. But one of the biggest issues here is the wind is real. So the wind was very strong. It constantly is just whipping around every day, and my seedlings did not appreciate that. So they're struggling, they're trying to survive. A few things are doing okay, but man, it's tough out here. So slowly but surely, I got some of the soil worked in the garden beds that the previous owners had. I took out some things, I left some things, and those are, if you see later in the garden beds, some of the stuff that's thriving, I didn't even plant. So last week I went ahead and tried to do some sunflower seeds around the fence perimeter. I have no idea if those will germinate, but it has been cold and rainy here lately. I know you're supposed to wait till it's warm, but again, it was warm that day. And now it's just cold and rainy, but at least it's raining because it was really hard. I can't like reach to water those in any way, so I was just kind of going back and forth with like the mower attachment with in my water bucket and watering can and trying to water it. So I'm glad it's raining now. And I did get so far before or by May, I can't remember exactly when, I planted onion starts, garlic, and potatoes, and peas, but I haven't seen the peas germinate. So I think the potatoes, the onion, and garlic are doing relatively well, and they are growing a little bit, but I wasn't able to plant out anything else. And right now I have a few tomato starts and peppers, like bell peppers, that are doing pretty well inside, but I really need to get them outside. And a lot of other crops I just need to get outside to plant like from seed. So one of the other issues here is hail. And so now that it is starting to get away from the snow and into the rainy season, the hail is real. And so what I have learned so far is that you have to start with a good setup here. Like if you don't have like any form of greenhouse, like maybe just a little, like a hoop house or just like over your garden beds, or I don't know if you guys have ever heard of wallow waters. Is it wallow waters? I think so. A lot of people use them for their tomatoes. It just covers each individual tomato seedling. Those look good, but I didn't know they existed, so I haven't bought any of those. And right now I'm not at a point where I can get a lot of covering for the garden beds, and I haven't been able to put out the green stalks because of the wind, the hail, and it's been too cold to put that kind of stuff outside. And so I'm considering putting it inside and next to a big window and just like hoping it will work. And I want to put some on the porch, but we have a lot of shade trees in the area and some lilac bushes, so it's really hard to get much sun up there. And so it's been a little disheartening. It has taken all the way through, it is now the first week of June, and it is a very short planting season. I'm not sure if maybe fall crops do better here. I'll keep you guys updated as I learn more. I don't know how long we'll be living in Colorado, but if it probably at least one other season, I will have some experience with what not to do. And I was hoping by now I could have like a garden tour and I could show you guys planting out all this stuff. One of the reasons it's hard to show planting out the stuff like I wanted to is because of the wind. So it's almost impossible. Like you guys would just see me like with my hair whipping around trying to plant stuff and I couldn't even talk. You wouldn't be able to hear me. So I wanted to do kind of just like a short chat on my experience and opinion growing here. If you guys have any tips and tricks, leave them in the comments below to help other people in the area or similar climates. I don't think it's impossible to garden here, and I still have some hope there will be warmer days ahead. I don't know if I'll be able to get any coverings for hail protection, but we don't have a deer fence, so it's like there's wildlife out here that could come and eat everything. I did try to release some ladybugs, but I feel like they flew away, and that was quite the expense. So I'm not sure if I want to do that again or not. Maybe once my plants are established, which they really weren't yet, just a few things that were budding in the garden bed already, like some rhubarb and garlic chives, I think. So it's, you know, on a overcast day like today, I figured it would be a good time just to do a little update chat since I didn't have much to show lately in the garden. And it's a little disappointing that I have to wait this long and now my seedlings are starting to die because I can't get them outside yet. And now I've just learned to be better prepared for next season. Because also winter comes really early here. I think like by October it's already winter again, or the end of October anyway. So that's just been my experience so far. I've realized not to start seeds too early here, and to have good protection, weather protection, pest protection, and you know, we're just gonna wing it. We're just gonna see how it goes and try our best, and I'll show you any updates as I have them, and hopefully something will work out. And if not, we'll try again next year, and I think it'll be better. The one thing I did learn was to start onion seeds really early, and they would probably do well here, even with the frost. So I think next year I'll be prepared. So anyway, thanks for listening. Let me know if you have any similar struggles. Are you in a tropical climate where it's really hot and your gardening season's pretty much over because everything's dying? Or are you in a cold climate, high altitude, dry? You know, have you struggled? Do you have any tips? Like, what's it like having a short growing season where it's really cold? And how do you protect your stuff from hail and pests? And any tips you guys have will help everyone in the comments. So I'll let you guys know when I have a new update, and I will talk to you guys later.